Joining us now is OjyOkpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Junix.
Happy Friday. Good morning, Dr.
Yes,
Marty. How are you
it's
this
Friday.
morning? Perfect. Good morning, Ayo.
Good morning.
Perfect. How you look lovely. Good
Thank
morning,
you.
Ayo. Ayo. Your name is Ayo as well. You told me that.
Yeah,
I missed
Ayo.
you yesterday. I'm glad that you're back.
Yeah,
well, all right. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Let's begin what's trending by celebrating our very own Martin Amaewhule-led, Arise News senior business and exchange anchor, who received the prestigious AfricSim Award for Excellence in African Regional Integration Journalism. Amaewhule received the award at the All Africa Media Leaders Summit in Nairobi, Kenya on Thursday. He was recognized for his pioneering work, dedication, and unwavering commitment to upholding the highest principles of journalism.
I want to say a very big thank you to everyone here tonight, but more importantly, to the institutions of change that we're seeing on the African continent over the last decade or so. The African Export-Import Bank, the African Development Bank Group, the Trade Development Bank of Africa, and the various regional institutions, including the African Union. Please give All African Media Group a round of applause. But I want to say a very big thank you to my chairman, Prince Amaewhule-led, who provided a platform for which we're now able to reach today beyond the United States, Europe, more than a dozen African countries. Over the last few days, we've been able to add additional 8 African countries in the entire Southern Africa to the viewership of African News, so for Arise News channel. Please give us a round of applause.
Oh, congratulations to our another legendary boss. He's a general.
Highly experienced.
A general
yes,
as well.
Yes, he qualifies to be a general.
We all want to say
look at the
congratulations.
citation.
Yes.
The citation talks about his dedication
Absolutely.
to craft.
Yes.
It talks about his upholding principles of journalism.
Yes.
And I just hope that younger journalists would cultivate the habit of learning from the experience and achievement of the likes of Martin Amaewhule-led. I've known him since, I can't count the years, and he's been around.
Yeah.
You know, CNBC, channels, now Arise, and at every station, he has been outstanding.
Absolutely.
We don't need to tell him that this has implications.
I knew you were coming.
He's not one of those persons that will dodge implications.
Absolutely.
So, Bosin, we are waiting.
We are ready for you, Bosin.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. We are so excited. Arise and shine. Well, all right. Let's take another story. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's anticipated visit to Nigeria is here. The royals are visiting Nigeria at the invitation of the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa. Their 3-day visit will have them interacting not only with military officials, they will also visit schools, attend a basketball clinic, a cultural reception, and interact with women leaders. Prince Harry, who is the founder of the Invictus Games, will interact with wounded soldiers and their families, while Meghan is scheduled to co-host an event on women in leadership with the Director General of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Okonjo-Iweala. Well, joining us now to fill us in on what more to expect from the visit of the royals is Arise Defense correspondent, Ferdinand Duoha. Well, good morning, Ferdinand.
Well, thank you so much.
Well,
and,
before you start, we understand that...
Good morning, Oji, and
yes,
good morning to every other person out there.
Yes, we understand that the royals have arrived in Nigeria, and we know that this trip marks their first official trip to the country. I'm sure that it's an emotional trip for Prince Harry, especially as his late mother, Princess Diana, made a similar trip in 1990. And of course, for Meghan, who recently traced her ancestry to Nigeria. Please tell us what more to expect, or what to expect today.
Well, by all means, well, this is a trip that definitely has different colors. Now, you've talked about the shades, the fact that for Harry, this is the first time that he will be coming to the country. And then also for Meghan, well, 43%. That's exactly the percentage of which she says she has shared Nigerian genes. And so what it means is it's coming back to the roots. And don't forget that, all this is wrapped in the invitation from the Chief of Defense Staff. And then also, yes, the Minister of Defense, who did meet with the Duke when he also traveled to Düsseldorf last year during the Invictus Games and extended that warm reception. Please come to Nigeria. Nigeria was competing for the first time, and yes, that was also the first time that an African country was indeed competing in the Invictus Games. Talking about the Invictus Games, well, it is one of his signature projects. It is an opportunity for men and women of the service who were injured to have a life back. By that, we mean still participate, still have the opportunity to compete. Now, that's exactly what happened. And this is all a follow-up from here. There are a whole lot of discussions that we expect will happen. In this room, to be precise, we expect that in a couple of minutes, maybe an hour thereabouts, well, we will have, the Prince come in and then the Chief of Defense Staff host him and some of the other visitors. And as well, a long list of programs. In that schedule as well, he will be traveling to Kaduna, to the Reserve Hospital, where we have military wounded persons currently undergoing treatment. Now, he's going to visit that hospital. Well, he's also going to visit Lagos, do some sporting activities there, and then he's going to meet with the families of wounded victims. Now, that's also very important. Well, to share their experience. That's exactly what, the whole Invictus project is all about. Giving back, ensuring that they know that it's also possible that they can have their lives back mentally, psychologically, and even physically. Later today, we'll be showing you some of the pictures of some of those wounded servicemen, some of them without limbs, or some of them without hands, well, who have right now embraced the sports and through the spirit of the Invictus Games, definitely have something to look forward to.
Absolutely. Very exciting news. Ferdinand Duoha, I'd like to thank you very much for keeping us up to speed, and we expect more from you through the course of their visit. Thank you very much indeed. Well, I'll come back to the studio here. Ayo, I mean, this is such an amazing story that, like I said, Harry has a big heart. I think he just follows his mother's footsteps. Like I said, I know Prince Harry. Well, we all know that this is not an official trip because, they've stepped back as senior royals. Yes. And, they've been doing really well, keeping themselves private. Yeah. And I hope that their contribution to the Nigerian space will bring a lot with the relationship with the British and the Nigerians. Absolutely. And obviously in America as well.
So Prince Harry, a true son of Princess Diana.
Absolutely.
The much-loved Princess of Wales, I must say.
Yes.
And I think that love has just, naturally flowed from the mother to the son. And the fact that in many regards, he seems to be following in the footsteps of his very beloved mother, Princess Diana. Now, something I must say is that Prince Harry founded Invictus Games in 2014 after he himself had served in Afghanistan as an Apache helicopter co-pilot. So this is personal for him. He's not just doing it because it's a good thing to do, but because he saw firsthand what wounded soldiers go through. And so just imagine him bringing that home. I think our troops more than ever need that encouragement. And so kudos to the Chief of Defense Staff, Major General C.G. Musa, for initiating this. And I hope that they have a fantastic time in Nigeria.
I'm actually looking forward to seeing...
footnotes.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, Invictus Games, has a Nigerian affiliate. And it's important to emphasize that Nigeria Unconquered, they are called. Yeah. And the Prince is going to interact with members of that particular group. And the second thing is to congratulate General Christopher Musa, the Chief of Defense Staff, with his visit, with the lineup of programs, including conversations around women leadership, between Meghan and Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala and others. This Chief of Defense Staff is signaling that, look, the Nigerian military is not just about Operation Boko Haram or Operation Python, that, there's another side, to the Nigerian military. And that's what this advertises.
I love that. I'm actually looking forward to the conference between Meghan Markle and our very own Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. That will be taking place, I believe, on their last day or on Saturday. Well, all right. We'll take another story. The Rivers State Governor, Sim Fubara, has been accused of breaking the law by the Martin Amaewhule-led lawmakers after he was seen taking a walk around the lawmakers' residential quarters on Thursday, according to the governor's chief press secretary. Fubara was at the site to take an on-the-spot assessment of condition of the structures for possible rehabilitation and to restore its status and make it livable. Well, Martin Amaewhule, while speaking with journalists, said the APC lawmakers were unhappy about Fubara's unscheduled visit, stating that it was a ploy to pull down the structure like he demolished the State House of Assembly complex last year.
Day by day, the governor executes actions that are against democratic institutions. If it is not against the Rivers House of Assembly, it is against chairman of local government. In fact, the governor has declared war on all elected people in Rivers State, so that only him will function as the elected ones. The governor has shown that he's a violent man. Our governor is a violent man, and I say it repeatedly. And I have evidence to say so. Members of the Rivers House of Assembly were stunned when the governor mobilized thugs to attack Mr. Speaker in his residence. My wife, my children were in my official residence when the governor mobilized thugs from Government House. They chanted from Government House to my official residence to harm me and my family. Today he came in person with his thugs. Many of them jumped our fence, they broke the gates and entered there uninvited. Ordinarily, the governor needs to write the speaker to get into our hallowed chamber or to get into our premises, or at least inform us if he has any reason to come here. Coming here and seeking to demolish our property, one built with taxpayers' money for the effective administration of the state legislature, is unbecoming of a governor.
Nigerians, Rivers people are watching events day by day as our own governor, who is supposed to uphold the constitution, is gradually sliding into the position of the chief lawbreaker of Nigeria.
All right, Rufai, the APC lawmakers there accusing Fubara of breaking the law. I mean, Fubara is saying that he's the governor of the state and he has every right to visit the residential quarters of the lawmakers.
So at first, there's no substance to the allegation.
Yes.
All right. But because of the politics, so
yes.
If we're talking factually, there's no substance. He has not demolished the place. A man can't just visit and you say he has intentions to demolish the place. But politically, and based on what has happened before, yes. The house, River State House of Assembly, was demolished after it was first bombed or molotoved, and they said they had to, you know, to fix the structure. So he leveled it with the hope of rebuilding it. I mean, this just goes to show the political crisis in the States. And we're having that conversation this morning. And I think to a large extent, I think what is even causing the problem here is the fact that we have that, what I call Ike proviso in the Constitution that says if there's a division, then party members can defect to another party and still keep their seat. I think what it should be is that once you defect, you should not keep your seat, and people should be able to fight for it in the law court. Because we also have an antecedent of another political party where a senator left YPP, went to the APC. YPP came and said there's no division in our political party, but it still keeps the seat, maybe because YPP can't pursue the case and things like that. So I think that is what is playing out here. At first, if you are going to blame Fubara, also blame the lawmakers. You left the political party that brought you in. The governor too has not been able to effect that according to the law. Then there's a big brouhaha in the state. Now we're on a spree where people are even afraid of demolition. And I would like to ask Governor Fubara, why are you going to expect a quarters that's just barely how many years old? The lawmakers complain to you that their water system, or I mean, is there not a maintenance system? What's your interest? And why is it that when they talk about impeachment, that's when you went to visit? So, I mean, these are the questions we should also ask the governor as we speak. But all of this because of the political situation in the state. And this, as all of this is going on, the biggest, you know, victims in all of this are the Rivers people, that all they deserve is governance. Absolutely. And that's why they should settle this thing once and for all. If they're going to go to court, if Fubara is going to go to court, because he was saying the other day that the lawmakers are nothing, he just left them floating for accepting. You cannot say that if you don't go to the court to try the fact that once they defected from the political party up to the Supreme Court, that they shouldn't retain their seat. And there's not been a court finality on that. So you can't keep saying they are floating. And secondly, the lawmakers too can have a counter reaction in court. So let's even settle the legal rank. Let's know where we are going and stop all this back and forth politics that's not even favoring the Rivers people.
All right, Dr. Abati.
I think the matter is clear. You know, the people in government in Rivers State, either in the executive arm or the legislative arm, should stop shortchanging the people of Rivers State. Because what was that phrase somebody quoted yesterday? That when the two elephants fight,
it's the grass that suffers.
It's the grass that suffers.
Yeah.
And it's the people of Rivers State that are suffering. It's important that all the gladiators conduct themselves after the fashion of gentlemen. And it is important that they respect the rule of law. This commotion is an unnecessary distraction, so that when Governor Fubara completes his 1 year in office, he will have more substantive things to talk about. Let it not be that what people will remember is that 1 year in office or thereabouts, you know, what they remember is this crisis. There must be concrete things that, you know, the governor of Rivers State can sell to the public, rather than Wike is disturbing us, legislative quarters is in need of rehabilitation. You know, one of the lawmakers said, if he wanted to visit their legislative quarters, at least he would tell them.
Yeah.
He will come and visit them. Only to go there with their wives and children at home. And, you know, some of his aides, we were told, were climbing the fence and all that. Just giving unelected persons, innocent wives and children, making them feel very uncomfortable. Because this amounts translate really into a show of power. Look at how the governor was doing like this.
He's the governor of the state.
Day or day, now me day here.
Yes, let's get to the podcast.
Unfortunately, about all of this shenanigans is the fact that it is overshadowing the real work.
Unfortunately.
All we are talking about when it pertains to Rivers State is not even the recent win in terms of the introduction of the minimum wage for the workers and all that. We're talking about his crisis with the former governor. And the people are no longer the center. It's become political. And I think it's such a shame. Let him do the 1 year's time. What are we going to talk about? The scorecard.
Yeah.
All the fact that he went to demolishing, fight, going back and forth. It's very sad and unfortunate.
Well, Ayo, I like the fact that you just mentioned the scorecard, because obviously he will be queried on that, because it leads me to my next story. We'll take our final story. In Kogi State, where the governor of the state, Usman Ododo's list of 100 days of achievements has attracted a wave of criticism online. Ododo, who has been embroiled in controversy over the case of his predecessor, Yahaya Bello, who is wanted by the EFCC for alleged financial misappropriation, was sworn in as governor on January 27, 2024. He posted the list of his achievements on X, which includes meeting with the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu. The 42-year-old governor also listed his participation in the meeting of Progressive Governors Forum in Abuja and the joint meeting of the governors of Kogi, Ondo, Taraba with the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari. Among his other achievements under agriculture, the governor added that he designated and cleared over 8,000 hectares of farmland for the new farming season and conducted a census of genuine farmers in the state to determine that the farmers will benefit from government subsidies and intervention. Rufai, can you allow me read? Can you allow me read properly, please? Let me take reactions. Of course, Kogi people are worried. I actually got the story from someone from Kogi. This person wrote, I weep for my dear Kogi state. It's better not to put out any list of achievements than to ridicule us with these elementary activities. 3 months and there's nothing to show for it, this Ododo era. Well, another person wrote, meeting NSA is an achievement. What manner of shamelessness is this? You may as well include whisking away the declared wanted governor, Yahaya Bello, from EFCC, thereby evading the law as an achievement. Ododo, Arufai, I'm coming to you because you're just cracking up.
Meeting OjyOkpe is one of my achievements. meeting Dr. Abati, you see, I've achieved, Ayo.
No, but
I've
if you meet
achieved,
the general, why
Dr.
not?
The NSA. I've achieved something.
Yes, sir.
Everybody. I went to meet my fellow governors. I will sat down to talk about the summit for security, agriculture. I saw that as achievement. We clear farm hectares. How much did you use to clear? He didn't tell us.
Yeah.
We took census of farmers that you can just call the Farmers Union Association to tell us how many members. We took census as an achievement. You see, when you live in a country where the bar is so low, government will be shouting building road is an achievement.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's even an indictment on any government that campaigns with building roads. Ask that governor, did he build the road with his pocket money or the taxpayers' money? So it's not only Ododo, the bar has been set so low for leadership, Oji. And that's why when they do the basic things, they feel they are doing you a favor. Leadership is about carrying the hard stuff, thinking and envisioning what was not and bringing it to be.
Yeah,
the question is, what has he been able to do with the rich resource of Kogi? He's got tourism potential. Kogi is the confluence town. I'm not hearing, okay, we'll set machineries in place to be able to make Kogi provide its own electricity. I'm not hearing that we'll set machineries in place to be able to have conversations about OjyOkpe and see how many jobs we can create again. I'm not hearing all of that. But the basic things of seeing people is an achievement.
Yeah, all right.
So the standards are so low on the African continent, and that's
it.
why you see people celebrating these
things as achievements.
So
it's
an indictment.
Can we cut him some slack? Because he has only spent 3 months, is that right? But obviously those are not achievements, those are activities, please.
100 days in office. I don't blame the leaders anymore. I blame the people. I think that the leaders have taken the people for granted so much that a leader, a governor, would feel bold enough to release such achievements as part of it and expect the people to rejoice. Because guess what, Oji? He will go to some quarters and they'll be singing his praises and they'll be dancing. So that's why I'm saying it's the people. We now need to look at the quality of people who are making the decisions to elect the leaders and who are praising and singing praises of our people.
The challenge we face in Nigeria is the leadership recruitment process. Because there is no strong leadership recruitment process that focuses on merit and capacity, you find all sorts in the governance arena. And it's not Ole Usman Ododo. I mean, after a pattern, we have seen in this same country whereby lawmakers, members of the National Assembly, they will donate electric poles. And the electric poles would, be major media issues. And we are part of the problem too, as journalists, because our media houses, when we are invited, we will report it and say the man,
Not right.
Just wait, I'm speaking generally. I'm speaking generally. When I use media, I use it generically. So we'll give them publicity. We are in this same country where somebody donated a bucket and a few kegs of water during COVID-19. It became news. Okay, so that's part of the problem. Number 3. It's not just about the people. There is a State House of Assembly in Kogi. What is the work of that House of Assembly? That House of Assembly is the appropriate body to ask questions about performance. But you are right, Ojineka, you may say, well, it's just 100 days.
Yes.
But we will wait. We hope when he's celebrating 1 year, he will not come and say he bought vehicles for members of the State House of Assembly.
No, I saw vehicles for Kogi Radio, and I also saw solar panels for Kogi Radio.
Really?
So you're on point. Well, all right. I'd like to thank you all for your contributions, as always, on What's Trending. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Well, that's all I have for you guys on What's Trending today. I'll see you all next week.